Hey guys, I'm Heintje, and back in July of this year I went to Portes Du Soleil for a whole week of biking. Everyone who's been there can understand that I have enough footage to make an hour-long video. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that. In this video I'll just stick to the highlights, although some of them are more lows than highs. I have been thinking about how to structure this video and decided to go to the footage in chronological order. So let's roll the intro and start with day 1. The first day we started off easy, with a lot of blue float trails, lots of bumps and small jumps, so I decided this would be a good day to bring out the hardtail.
Helpful.
However, let me skip most of these easy trails and go straight for the first crash of the group. As always, I don't have it on film, but as I came over this jump I found Joris' bike here, while he was already a lot further. Even though I knew what happened, the very next run I almost ended up in the same ditch that made him crash. This is one of the sections you really have to know, and I think this can and should be built better. Next section I want to highlight, a small jump line with some gap jumps, although not really a highlight since I didn't dare to jump any of them. Except for the last one. That was my first little victory of the week. Of course, after I did a run up and watched some others clear it first.
Precies goede snelheid. Holy fuck.
Now, the theme for the rest of the day was unofficial trails. Trails you have no idea what to expect. Some turned out to be so steep I couldn't ride them, others were full of puddles and mud, and some of them were just the best. When it comes to trails like this, your mindset is the most important thing. You truly have to see it as an adventure. If you accept you have to walk some parts, you get to enjoy the good bits. And good bits there were a lot. The fact that I was on my hardtail only added to the adventure. I could make a full video about how the hardtail handles bike parks like this and compare it with my fully e-bike. So I will, but that's going to be next week's video. Now a few more jumps and let's move on to day 2. The theme of this day is going to be jumping. A lot of jumping. A whole lot of jumping. But first, let's start the day with a crash. I took too much of the inside line, lost grip on my front wheel and slid out, somehow landing on my face, even with a full face helm. No serious injuries though, just a tiny cut that was easily covered with a band-aid. One jump on this line that required a bit of a session was this step up, but before I could start the camera, Joris already cleared it, and if Joris can do it, so should I. With that philosophy, I went for it. Disclaimer. This strategy might not work for you, depending on your Joris. For me it did. One more little victory in the bag.
Yeah.
Did I already say this day was about jumping? Well, let me summarize the rest of the day for you.
Ja, dat is de...
Until we got to the black jump line. We rode some fun routes, but didn't dare to do any jumping. This was so far out of our skill level, we didn't even have to consider jumping them. To end the day, we rode an unofficial trail back to Mazin. This would be an amazing trail if proper built and maintained. Now it was a real challenge to get down, mainly because we were already pretty exhausted after all the jumping we did. This one did not feel like an adventure, more like survival. It probably would have been more fun if we rode it while still having energy. So time to end the day and recharge for day 3. This day was all about Coupe du Monde, the legendary downhill track of Champery, probably the steepest track to ever host a World Cup. The first part is just to get to the start, although it's already a challenging and fun trail. This red one continues a bit further, but here starts the real deal. So let's see if we mere mortals can get down this piece of history. It starts with a couple of jumps that are pretty precise and way too big for our speeds and skills. Features that are very consequential if you make a mistake at speed. However, they are perfectly roadable for us. Now it gets steep and twisty, most of it very doable. Just keep rolling at a controlled speed, something easier said than done, especially because it was slippery this day. This brings me to the difficulty of this track. Is it really that hard? Well, it depends fully on the conditions. When it's dry and the grip is good, it's not that hard to get down in one piece. However, once it gets muddy, it's a whole other beast. Now you really have to commit to the berms and accept that sometimes you'll go faster than you feel comfortable with.
Oh ja. Ja.
At a lot of places, you have the option to pick an even harder inside line. My runs were all about getting to the bottom, not so much about flow. But man, this trail must be so fucking great if you really work it out. Unfortunately, Champery is quite far from Mazin, so we could only do 2 runs, just enough to see what it has to offer. In the first run I took, unknowingly, a chicken way to skip some of the harder parts, although this chicken way was already quite a challenge. The second time around I went for the harder line, first getting to a rock slab that's probably easy if you can trust the grip. Now I decided to walk.
Dit gaat ook niet goed.
In the next part my friends were already piling up, so I opted for yet another chicken line. In those legendary races, the run continued to the village. That part is gone now and you have to roll down the fire road from here. A good moment for me to move on to day 4. This day we rode a number of trails we already did on the first day, only this time on the e-bike. This gave me a good comparison between my bikes, but that will be in next week's video. For this video, let's focus on the riding, or should I say jumping. Let's start with a line we did before, only then one of my friends was riding in front with no intention of clearing any jump. We were pretty mad at him for ruining our run as well. Of course, if it was for him, we would clear everything. Well, as you can see, these jumps turned out to be harder than we thought. So my apologies to Hein, you did not ruin our run on the first day. In order to be able to clear some jumps, you just had to move to a blue trail. With his newfound confidence, he went back to the forest section with the gap jumps. Let's see if he dare to jump them now. So let's start with the first one.
Wat?
Not that hard, only to go for the second one as well didn't feel good. Let's give it another try. I'm just not good in right-hand turns, so landing into one and having to settle for the next jump all at the same time is just too much for my brain to handle. Moving on to the next jumps. Same issue. I really have to practice jumping into turns, but hey, at least I got to check off 2 more jumps off my list.
No.
The only thing left I want to highlight from this day are the jump lines at the bottom of Leger. At the end of the day, I finally had a perfect run where I cleared them all. Now we've already come to the last 2 days of this vacation. Since I rode the same trails on these days, or at least the mention-worthy trails, I've decided to combine the footage. We started the day with some float trails in Chatel. These just weren't as good as some of the others, so we decided to go for a more tacky trail. Even though I halted at almost every rock, this was way more fun. So more tag please. This next trail is exactly what I wanted. It starts with a rock garden. Sometimes it's nice to have options, sometimes it's better if you have just one line. Although both options are fine, when you first approach this one, you'll get a bit confused, making it tricky at first. Next point of interest, a step down. After checking it out, yours went for it, landing very smooth. And if yours can do it, so should I. But I didn't try. I opted for the chicken way in all our runs of this trail. The rest of this trail is fun and fast stuff with a few tiny features. Until you get to the bottom. Here the trail merges with the black line and gets substantially more chunky, but since it's all very doable, let's check out the whole black run. This one starts out great, challenging but not too challenging. Once in the flow, everything is doable. Until we got to this section, that is. First a derailer killing the rock, followed up by one of the scariest moments I had on the bike. I knew this one was rollable, but once I got over the edge, I noticed a crack exactly the right size to grab my front wheel. Thankfully, I could barely avoid an OTB here. The rest of the trail, amazing. The right amount of chunk with a few sections that are possible once you know what's behind them. Time for the last trail of the vacation and the video already. Another unofficial one. This one, once again, steep and full of roots. I hope you liked this video. It was hard to make a selection on what to show and what to skip. Like I said in the intro, I could easily make it an hour long, but I do respect your time as well. This trip gave me some thoughtful insight in the difference between the 100mm fully e-bike and my hardtail. Something I will cover in depth in the next week's video, so hit that subscribe button if you're interested in that one. For now, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you back for my next video. In the meantime, have fun riding. Houdoe! Ah, what the heck, one more orgasm-inducing jump line.
Whew.